For the longest time, Shedeur Sanders was a top 5 lock, but over the last month, his stock has started to fall. So let's break down the All-22 together and evaluate whether he's a fit for the Jets at number 7 overall. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? It's Luke here from Play Like a Jet, and we're back in the film room with another All-22 breakdown. And to kickstart our 2020-25 draft content, we're going to dive into Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Now, there's some things I really like about Sanders' tape, but there's other things that scared me far too much to take him at 7 overall. At the moment, I've got him as a mid-20s pick, so let me explain why. We're going to start by looking at his arm strength because I think it's the biggest weakness of his game. Now, I'm not saying you need to throw the rock like Josh Allen, but you also can't have a weak arm and need to fit the ball into tight windows. First example against Kansas here, you're going to see Sanders out of shotgun. We're approaching the red zone. Have a look at when he pulls his arms apart. The wide receiver is wide open and we get a PBU. Now, why do we get this breakup? Freeze it right here. Sanders separates his arm. He goes to throw. This receiver is naked. It's a 15-yard window. He needs to drive this ball in there, but it floats out of his hand and gives the DB time to close. This was a consistent issue on tape when it was there to just rip that football and fit it in the tight window over the middle or in the red zone. Sanders disappointed me, and this was a prime example of that. And more of the same from the bowl game against BYU. Sanders from the opposite hash is going to try and fit this ball in a cover 2 hole, but he's unsuccessful. Why? Have a look at the film. He's a little late, he doesn't get the right trajectory on the ball, and bang, his receiver gets lit up. I just thought these throws were all over the tape. Again, we're going to separate our hands. We're throwing the football right now. The receiver at the bottom of your screen is open. You need to make this throw. Yes, you need to layer it over the linebackers, but there's too much air under this football. It is too slow to get to its spot, and bang, that will not fly in the NFL. That is going to get your receivers put in hospital. Sanders' arm strength just wasn't quite there, especially when throwing to the field. I saw multiple issues. And another one here, this time against Arizona. You're going to see him once again throwing from the opposite hash to the field side. And this is open right now. Throws with great anticipation. The ball's on its way. We're in a good spot. Just doesn't get there in time. Again, I want to reiterate that I don't need him to have a cannon. I just want him to throw this football to the open receiver, line drive. It's got too much air under it. And again, the DB can close and make a play on the football. Yes, technically all 3 of these balls could be caught. I understand that. But I just need him to separate, get studs in the ground, and drive this football. I'm not sure if Sanders has that ability. Now let's move on to my second big picture issue with Shedeur Sanders, and that's when he's late over the middle. It ends in disaster. If he holds onto the football for 3 seconds, whether it's in structure or outside of structure, I do not like the results for Colorado. A guy like Patrick Mahomes or Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, they can get away with being a little late and throwing across their body. This kid unfortunately can't. Here's an example, again approaching the red zone against Arizona. You're going to see he's in structure. He's just late. He tries to fit it in that zone window and it's an interception. This was all over the film. Freeze it right here. You can see this window's opening, but he just cannot fit it in. He doesn't step into the throw. He short arms it again, and the DB breaks on the football. You just can't have these back-breaking mistakes. Whenever it was tight window, whenever it was late, I just thought it ended poorly. And here's another example. This time he's on the move. You're going to see Sanders bail the pocket. He's going to throw across his body. Cannot fit this ball in. He doesn't have the arm strength to throw off platform, out of structure, across his body, and over the middle late. That's just going to end poorly every single time. Again, I'm not here to bully him. These are just trends that I've seen, and I want to show you the negatives before we jump into the positives. Late over the middle equals disaster for Sanders. And the last consistent concern that I saw on Sanders' film was that he held onto the ball forever. Now, I must say, Colorado's offensive line play was terrible in 2024, but there were too many times where he held the ball, again, for 3.5 seconds, and it ended in a sack. Here he is in the red zone. Freeze it right here. We have to find a way to layer this football in over the corner and get it to our guy coming out of the backfield in motion. He doesn't. He circles back around, holds onto it for too long. He doesn't have that cape. He can't be Superman. He is best in structure, going with the system and playing what's in front of him. Get rid of this football, find a way to layer this over the top, and it's probably a touchdown. Again, he bit off more than he could chew. From the same game, Sanders, you're going to see motion out of the backfield. He's in empty. We've got a blitzer coming. He identifies it late, but he sees it. We've got to get rid of this football. Get out. Make a move. Takes a sack. This is very obvious. You can see this blitz coming from the corner. He identifies that we've got to throw to our hot. We have the guy open in the flat. Have a look left side of the screen. He is open. We don't want to do it. We take a sack. You can't have all these negative plays stacking up time and time again. Throw it. Instead, negative play for Colorado. And last example, just to reiterate it again, Sanders holding on. You see a bit of a bust. There's someone coming through. We just got to throw this away. We're out of the pocket at this stage. You can see one rush has already fallen over. This is clearly going to be a pressure. Just holds on to it. A guy like Cam Ward, when I break his film down, you're going to see he gets away with some of these plays. Sanders isn't the athlete to make guys miss after the play, and that internal clock was just missing too often for me. I need to see Shedeur Sanders stop taking these kind of sacks. But now let's flip it over and look at the things that Shedeur Sanders does really well, because there are some characteristics and traits that clearly had him top 5 coming into this draft process. The first thing is his boundary throws deep vertical down the field with touch are fantastic. If he's asked to layer the football and beat one-on-one coverage to the outside, he was terrific. First example here, have a look at Sanders out of shotgun. He gets to the top of his drop. The right guard is just absolutely destroyed. We've got pressure in our face. He's going to get this throw away. He got nowhere to go with his feet and just puts it on the head of the DB. Look at the location. Beautiful. Put it where only your guy can catch it, over the top of the corner, and that's a big play for Colorado. Now, yes, if this rusher wasn't there to hit him, you'd hope that he led his receiver down the field. This isn't one of those opportunities. He's got pressure in his face. He's going to take a hit, stays in that pocket, and throws a rainbow. Great work from Shedeur Sanders. These are the plays that really impressed me. Awesome. Throwing with touch to the boundary. And another one here from the same game. You guessed it. We've got a blitz coming. Sanders once again just drops it in the bucket. I'm sorry. This is elite ball placement with a man in his face. Whew, look at that receiver. You couldn't walk down the field and hand it to him any better than that. Straight over the shoulder, and he's running onto the ball at speed, 40 yards down the field. But look at the pressure. Sanders stands in there, identifies early that the number 2 receiver has won. He's going to take a shot, and he still fires that ball in there with that touch we talked about. This is a huge strength to his game. When he's able to push it down the field, but on time and in structure, absolutely love it. And one more for good measure. Once again, you saw some incredible throws in this game alone. Now we're going to see him out of the pocket. Just escapes, starts to move outside. We're going to identify off-platform, out of structure, like that first throw. Just put it on the head of the defensive back where only your guy can catch the football. And you're going to see the trajectory out of his hand. Once again, look at it at full speed. Just that beautiful arc, the rainbow. Just puts it over the top. He has this in spades. There is no doubt about his touch. When he's able to make those kind of throws, absolutely loved his tape. And another thing I really like about Sanders is his lower body mechanics. I thought his base width was fantastic, and when he was asked to step up in the pocket like he was here, navigate, find a little lane to throw, get out of there, and then find the touchdown in the red zone, I really like that. I think he's the best in the class with his lower body and his consistency and the ability to repeat it over and over and over again. You don't see that very often out of college quarterbacks. He's got pressure here. Look at the base. Back foot hits the ground. No one's open. We're going to step up, wade. Yes, he holds on to the football, but he finds that lane, climbs the pocket, and then throws for the touchdown to finish it off. That's really positive. I liked that aspect of his game. And often, like on this next clip, when he's in structure and given an opportunity to fire that football in one-on-one boundary post, he's on time, he's accurate, his decision making is correct. He's the conductor. My tongue-in-cheek comparison for him is Rondo in the Celtics. He's a point guard. He's a facilitator. I don't like using the word game manager. It's got a really negative connotation, but his eyes go to the right spot, makes the right read, fits the football in, touchdown Colorado. When he's asked to do that in system and everything is very much in front of him, I really liked the Sanders tape. And I just touched on it then, but the last thing I really want to focus on is the accuracy. His ball placement and the intermediate part of the field is sublime. Here's an example. We're going to throw the backside out route, bottom of your screen. Have a look at the window. It is small. Bang. Just put that ball exactly where it needs to go. Lead him away from the cornerback, and it's a first down for Colorado. This is a really difficult throw. I understand that it's to the near side, to the boundary, but he puts this ball in the perfect location. You can't do it any better than that. When he is able to drive the ball with enough velocity, his accuracy is fantastic. This time, once again, inside the pocket, we're going to climb, bang. Again, it's not necessarily the, most impressive throw, but this pocket is collapsing. He's had to get away from his right tackle, pressure from the backside, just layers that football right over the DB's head, and once again, it results in 7 points. These are the plays that really impress me. The accuracy in the 15 to 20 intermediate part of the field, that's his bread and butter. I like the pocket awareness on this occasion. We're going to squeeze that ball in. Really, really nice throw. And the last one, honestly, might be the best throw he made on tape all season long. You want to talk about outside the pocket, something you see in the NFL all the time. What's your accuracy like? Goodness gracious me. Sanders puts it on the perfect spot. I mean, you just don't get any better than that. This is what you see from high-level NFL quarterbacks. Out of the pocket, just delivers a strike. Fantastic throw from Sanders. The issue for me is, more often than not, he was taking sacks or throwing late over the middle, but when he kind of stayed with the play and inside the confines, even when rolling out, I think he looked really dangerous, and that accuracy is second to none. So there you have it, guys. My breakdown of Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, do we want to take him at 7 overall for the Jets? Personally, I don't. If there is a trade back and someone wants to come up and get Sanders, I am all for it. But I just thought he held on to the ball for too long. His decision-making was a touch slow, and he lacked some arm strength. But when in structure and everything was perfect, he was the conductor, the game manager. For that reason, my comparison is Louisville Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's that level of quarterback. He should go at the back end of the first round, and therefore, he's not a fit for the New York Jets.